Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Lens of Truth with me, Ivan Florentino. And for today's video, I'm finally reviewing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe after 9 years. You heard that right, it's been almost a decade since this game released. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, please hit that like button, ring the bell, and leave a comment. So, let's get to it.
So now that we know how Mario Kart World finally looks like, it was already teased in the Switch 2 trailer. We also had it in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and it even got its own Mario Kart World Direct as well. I feel like it's time to take a look back at one of Nintendo's best-selling game ever, and the best-selling Mario Kart game in the entire series. Also, if you combine it with the Wii U version. It has been confirmed by Nintendo that it has sold over 67.35 million units. This game just keeps selling and selling, and Nintendo has never dropped the price on it, which is crazy. And it's no wonder because this is so accessible, it's for everyone, and they only make one per generation. So it's easy to see why people anticipate it every time there's a new console.
So, like I said, it's been almost 10 years since this game originally released back on the Wii U. It's crazy to believe that it's a little over 9 years since the game originally came out back on the Wii U, and although it's one of Nintendo's lowest selling systems with a small install base, this game is still actually one of the best selling games on that system. And it's easy to see why, with its easy to pick up and play for anyone. Now, during this era of Nintendo, the base game got expanded shortly thereafter with updates, and both paid and free downloadable content, DLC, was released after launch, with additional difficulty settings like 200cc and additional tracks. And it was finally re-released on the Nintendo Switch in 2017 as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's the one we know of now as one of the best-selling Nintendo Switch games of all time. And this version includes all the original DLC, as well as a revamped battle mode and other gameplay changes and improvements. Now, one of the things that was not expected was even more courses. During a February 2022 Nintendo Direct, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would be receiving a season pass called the Booster Course Pass, and it would release in 6 waves. And so with this booster course pass, with the success of the game selling so much, an additional 48 tracks were released for a total of 96, which is ridiculous. This is the most tracks that a Mario Kart game has ever had. It's also some of the best online gameplay as well. And it's a great business move from Nintendo that a lot of Mario Kart Tour tracks were repurposed and added that upscale to the game when they were added into the waves. Now, some of the criticisms was that some of the Mario Kart Tour tracks were very low poly and not as great as the base game, but overall, the amount of quality and quantity and variety makes this one of the best Mario Kart games in terms of selection of courses. They added a lot more characters, a lot of character colors and alterations, with an additional Mii costumes as well from Mario Kart Tour. So this game started off as a Wii U game and it already looked amazing. It ran at 720p, but when it was transferred to the Nintendo Switch, it ran at 1080p at 60 frames per second. And it looks really, really good. Nintendo knows how to do their hardware really well, and this game is very next gen, with high resolution textures, and it runs perfectly. Now, one of the biggest changes was adding the orchestrated jazz music. Every single track has something memorable, and it just added to the game. And some of the gimmicks brought back from Mario Kart 7 was the underwater sections and the gliding section. And this time around was the anti-gravity sections of the game. Although they could have pushed it a little bit more, when all the gimmicks work together, it looks amazing. And the amount of variety and creativity is top notch. So I've added hundreds of hours into this game, all the way from the Wii U era and now on the Switch. And I am glad it's finally over because we're excited to see what Nintendo does next for the future installment of this series. And speaking of the last wave, number 6, this is probably one of the best waves out of the entire series. But I do want to give a shout out to all of the cool characters that made a return and all of the brand new characters that people wanted. We have a return of Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Birdo, Petey Piranha, Wiggler, brand new Peachette, Pauline, and an N64 scrapped character from the beta version back in the day, Kamek as well. Some of the huge standouts and fan favorites is Rainbow Road from the Wii, with its gorgeous looking colors in outer space, one of the hardest rainbow roads that had a huge glow up in this return. And the surprise tour track of Tour Madrid, which was a funnest surprise with the soccer field section. And one of my favorites from Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube is DK Mountain. And a huge surprise from Piranha Plant Cove, and a huge redesign of SNES Bowser Castle 3. However, for the last one of my favorite ones of the entire 6 waves is Ninja Hideaway. I mean, come on, just listen to the soundtrack, it's hype. It's one of the few Wave 6 tracks that feels like it was part of the base game with its beautiful colors and just the great theming and creativity when it comes to the multi-layered track design. Hopefully this is one that will return in the next installment.
And one of the most requested updates that people have wanted for a long time has been custom items. In one of the patches, they actually did it. Now there's so many options when you're playing online, when you create private lobbies. It's pretty cool that you're able to turn all the items off, remove some of the annoying ones, keep some of the frantic items like the all blue shells, and a very specific quality of life improvement was when you are airborne in a glider and you get struck by lightning, you no longer fall down. This creates much less frustration, and I feel like they're gonna keep this going forward with all Mario Kart iterations. So this was a much welcome addition, even though it was late in the game's lifespan. Alright, and if we take a look at the Super Mario Wiki, we can get to see how many versions of the game and how many patch notes were added all the way through these years that it's been out for the Switch. It's kind of crazy to see all of these over here. From version 1.1.0 all the way to 2.30.
So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and have you been playing it since for almost 9 years? And are you excited for what's next to come? Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you later. Bye.